at the MapeiStadium. Too many from either their fans or indeed their head coaches liking. Like the Neroverdi, Cremonese have more than held their own since they won promotion, winning the playoffs. And at the beginning, you may recall, and to be fair to them, they'd really looked at getting dragged into the relegation scrap. But it had to be said that they took finding results quite hard to come by both late. They're with football, scoring goals. They managed to just turn in those last 7 matches. Those goals came, in fact, in a single game. 2-0 at home to Cagliari. Couldn't go on to win. Referee this afternoon, Giuseppe Collo, waiting to lead the two teams out. Domenico Berardi, welcome straight back. Bob on the substitutes bench for the Neroverdi this afternoon. Crowd beat Italy's money. Striker who's been out with an injury next to the last 8 games. From a figure of Nemanja Matic, former Premier League winner, of course, with Chelsea and United, Manchester United. Skippering its side in Berardi's absence. Reports this afternoon are imperative for both of these two teams. Neither have tasted victory in their last 7 matches. So that both of them looking over their shoulders. The relegation battle beneath them. Been win from either side will go some way to easing the tension. The MapeiStadium, Sassuolo taking on Cremonese. Last breathing between these two teams as well. A match, remember, a roller coaster game at the Zini back in August. On the they're going 2-0 up. Sassuolo could be about to 2 points. And then home side winning it with a penalty in stoppage time. Then in more of the second, team go on bits. So the ticket to the least today. Having lost all the extra changes from the defeat, Napoli left side. It's fit again and returns in midfield. At front, there's the first of the season, and it's all more up. Andre Piedmont is me. It's still, and it's only fit enough for the bench. Alongside him, to mention, returning from Domenico Berardi. About his absence, Matic ringside. Joined by Benedict I was down in the regular rematch for Benedict with Joseph Bottle. Alongside Cotton this afternoon, Dario Ciccone, Ivan Flatnik, for Pitchful, Michael Fabric, it's on this afternoon, Davide Gazzini. The accommodation of Grigiorossi and players midfield, Cremonese arrive and Petilo up the list. Every center returns bottom the left flank after suspension. The scheduled part with Calcio makes its first start since September. It came off the bench against Verona on Monday night. No bet, just 8 players on the subject bench for the Grigiorossi. Neroverdi in your picture, joint top scorer with 5 goals. Way to get things underway here. Referee Giuseppe Collo just waiting with signal. No. It will be the home side, the Neroverdi, to get us up and running here in Reggio Emilia. And it looks like we'll be starting all over again. Giuseppe Collo. Stopwatch perhaps wasn't quite ready, even if everybody else was. So, but the second time of asking, we are on the way. Ball is with Harry Morich. Those are these two teams, Sassuolo and Cremonese, enjoying a positive return as Sassuolo straight away putting pressure on the goal of Emil Audero. Moriente sweeping the ball in with his right foot. Audero having a good view of it. Both these two teams having made a positive return to life in the top division. Neither of them have looked in any danger of struggling, unlike Lisa, who came up with them, of course. But both of these two teams suffering a little bit of a lull in form. So we come into 2026, and the pressure is on both to change that, and Sassuolo get. And they're coming in from Morley. Comfortable this one for Audero. As a goalkeeper has been in very good form this season. On loan from Como, of course. Gamori, whose last start actually came against Cremonese, the back end of last season in Serie B. This is Baschiotto. Grigiorossi. Sassuolo up, second team. He's brought up to this level. Achieved the same feat with Frosinone 2-3 seasons back. Oriente breaking forward for the home side. Frenchman tries it shots. I don't know, but now. What the hell? The bus foot straw thought now we're happy here at the Mapei. Audero angry with himself if he couldn't hold that shot for Bob Day. And Audero was able to pound. But quick break by the Neroverdi. The ball was at the feet of the Frenchman. Almad Moriente struck it early, and when the ball bounced back out of the hands of Audero, there was Fadera. second goal will be played for the champion. Sassuolo have the start they wanted. Again, Cremonese, they find themselves on the Sassuolo press high. Jovic. As double against support on his outside. Joe's inside. Trying the shot. A little ambitious from the Frenchman. Remember what happened just a few moments ago. Through it for thought indeed. The other day, Nicola back on the bench this afternoon after serving a suspension against Verona. Any sick but pleased with what he's seen so far. His team hasn't even got jumped. Stop yelling. First real spell any kind of possession for the visitors. Let's give up to that has done. Cremonese this way. Petzella getting blocked. Over it. If it chops to go up. Getting the flick on in the direction of Loriente. Two white shirts handed. Loriente. Giano doing well. A foul given against Grigiorossi. Two. Barbieri ball is a loose one. Dipani now finding Valukiewicz. Went Matic in the centre circle. An excellent start for the Neroverdi. They came out of the blocks on front foot. They got their reward. Valemiric and Loriente. Again, Frankfurt looks coming inside. Loses the ball in the protest. Yeah, one at Sony. With Borne and Doig. Doig comes away with the ball. Now Matic. Okay for the run of Morva. Why? To a check. Mark slowly. Cremonese have tried and bit by bit to work their way back into the step. Made the point that goals have been their problem in recent matches. The last thing they wanted was to find themselves behind in the first 3 minutes. Well, those down, but we're playing on. Doig just managing to intercept the head of Bapiani. Doig playing his 100th game in Italian football, the Scotsman. This with Sassuolo and LS Verona beforehand. It's one, of course, of a number of Scots enjoying their football in Italy at the moment. Was his like several players this afternoon. One of 5 Sassuolo players, would you believe, just looking away from a suspension. Comodo picking himself up again. You're back. And no doubt he will have felt the challenge in the back from someone of the size of Federico Baschiotto. Sweeping the ball in the direction of the goal scorer, who is unable to keep it in play. Thumbs up nonetheless from Federa. They're getting one in the side. Azario Federa of late, with injuries for the likes of Volpato and of course giving him his opportunity. Boyd battling with Pap, heading up. Sassuolo and Cremonese occupying positions next door in the table. On 23 points, says here, damage scored. He gets the blow crossed. He was looking for more. Yeah. More pressure. It's for the Grigiorossi to face. Goes long towards that near post. Bianchetti with the header away, and an opportunity perhaps for Boneto, the counter. That Salo but certainly bought. Coming together with Fajena. Playing for one of that. It is Courtney. Story getting stunting of a run in the team at the moment with the injury. And to his right for that left back slot. Fairly getting there. Ball is with it. That's Dabiante. Federa. Lepard. But still is there, and look, the Grigiorossi. Dabier is on bubble. It's over the head of Vardy. So Van de Butta, sees that one. Well, it plays with its fate, but it just stand up there, a Cannonball's effort. That's right, it says it's a corner. It's all Cremonese. Our first glimpse of Neroverdi in action, and it almost produced a goal. Juric, equal Drip's effort. MatchDay from Cremonese. First corner of the afternoon. Put to deliver near post. The shout of away very clearly. That's just what happened. See challenged by Ibani. Abramovich. Decision goes the Neroverdi's way. Devasi. Challenging. Bosnia. Abramovich. Needs to stop by Moric, but his fate was alert to the danger. And doing what Jamie Vardy does best. Good low ball, the direction of Lolly all day. Might be able to use there. Going on to Barbieri having words. Barbieri doing what in the end? Just getting to that ball. But Frank has to play off the Frenchman. It's looking to goal again. The Lion shot stilled by Audero. Then Fadea there to take advantage. I'd be saying immediately prior to that how Audero had been in fine form for Cremonese in recent weeks. Again, against Verona the other night. There's no denying that he was at fault for the goal. The Sassuolo ahead in the early stages of this one. And this is Matic. Matic lofting the ball forward with the run of Moro, support from Loriotte, and then getting Loriotte is the target, battling with Barbieri. Expect to see those two coming up against one another a time or two this afternoon. The enter on that occasion, just fractionally offside. On ball from Audero, too far for Vardy. The Beveridge goes long. This one is a lot less accurate. It's saying Stabio Grosso that Sassuolo made what he calls an amazing return to Serie A so far. Certainly keen to accentuate the positives as his team find themselves perhaps in the toughest spell of the season so far. Poor header for Doy, giving it back to the visitors. Not gone off battling. Foneri finds Loriente. Space now on that right-hand side for Valjukevits. Nafadera. Oriente. Skips away from Bianchetti. Nice idea from the Frenchman. In a while since he hit the target. Oriente. 3 goals for him in this campaign so far. He was, of course, Serie B's top scorer as the Neroverdi won the title last season. Here comes Cremonese. Van de Putte. Still the Belgian looking to get a cross in. And he wins a corner for his team. Van de Putte. With the man over the set piece for the Grigiorossi. Here comes another. Ulrich watched that all the way. Pulls it out to corner. There. Bounced out against Napoli. The Maradona last weekend. And Ismail Kone back in his regular midfield slot. That wasn't able to get away from his man. This back with Cremonese and the skipper Bianchetti. Scarotto wandering into enemy territory. Barbieri. Back to Bianchetti. And Cremonese looking for their opening. Bad from Bardi to his captain. Basquerotto. And the flick was from Duassi. Intended for Van de Putte. The Dinitunda. The survival expert of Serie. Chipping the feet with Cadu, of course, our season, hoping to do the same with Cremonese. But didn't he call that the man who's kept the likes of Crotone, Torino, Salernitana also in the top division. Sometimes when it all looked lost, but it's certainly not looking lost for Cremonese, as indeed they look to make a change. Just under a quarter of the way into this game. And the bad news for Cremonese is it's Colopro going off. Now, whether that's tactical or whether Colopro is still struggling with the injury. The recuperation from the injury that kept him out for 4 months in total. FootballNight. Certainly Cremonese have not wanted to have made a change necessarily in the game. Just past the halfway mark in this first period with news that Sassuolo all ahead. Thanks to a goal after just 3 minutes here from Mapei. Mario Fadena. Fadena was spilling a long range effort from Oriente, and the Gambia profiting from the rebound. This is Basquerotto for Cremonese. Terracciano. Sassuolo, sweeping the ball out to the far side of Petzela. Better in is easily collected by Ari Muric. Says he moves down, clutching his right thigh. Maybe the back of his knee, it's causing the discomfort. And the entire atmosphere there. It's just falling awkwardly. There's nobody at the ball. He's up on his feet, which is a positive sign. So, free kick has gone Sassuolo's way. Komoro again picking himself off the floor. But he's going to see plenty of Baschirotto as this game develops. Yeah. Then and there the challenge on the striker. Grigiorossi making his feelings known to the fourth official. It says Jukevits, Lipari. Federa losing out, but Matic picks it up and finds Kone. He in turn finds Josh Doig, who's going to try his luck from distance. Straight into the gloves of Aldero. Now Baschirotto. Man, Soli coming deep again, looking for the ball. Vardy. Now to Bianchetti. Required first 25 minutes for Jeremy Vardy. Has had that one effort that Muric was equal to. This spot at Soli. Now getting it back again. Zabin, the Bacino. The danger was read well. Bacic jumps in again. And Holovic with the header. And Federa loses out. Fouls his man in the process. Spigambia. So for Sassuolo, the danger is not yet totally cleared. He called it possession for Federa. Catching by Cesar. It's a two-man ball in the way of this set piece from Van der Puta and ball at Sellat. It will be the Belgian to deliver. It does well. So, they have taken out his own man in the process. Leremovic is down. Just been caught. Squinted as much as anything as his goalkeeper. Stood into it. Bilic is doing his job. Saw it coming. Don't change for it. He forced the end up on his feet again. Sassuolo coming into this. Back ball, 3 straight defeats. The first time this season. It should be pointed out that they were playing Juventus, Roma, then there was 3 matches. I failed to score in any of them. This is 30 carats. Limpani back with the pole, finds Matic, sweeping the ball out to Loriente. Lovely. It towards that far post where it carried it in. Not too far wide in the end. Thump for Dallas. The nearest goal was in fact the first the Sassuolo have scored since the Norwegian Christian Kostvedt opened the scoring for me against Padova. Start of the month. Frustration on the face of Fabio Brescia. Mr. Swearin has gone Cremonese wide. 3 wins they've managed at home here. The Neroverdi against Lazio, Udinese, and Fiorentina. Hoping to make that number 4 this afternoon. Van der Puta winning the throw off the shins by Valjukevits. It's a Daphne in the substitute. Now Bonnet solely gets set up. Now get in the crosses. Sandra Buta. Too high and too far. So like the Bonnet solely and Barbieri.
That's Senna. Now Vardy. Vardy switches the ball. Was don't know far away at the end. Was it a shot? Was it a cross?
Villaini's right foot. Well, perhaps only he knows. There was the earlier effort from Serie B. Rather less anxiety for Adi Muric. Cremonese, I think it's fair to say, have shown enough in this first half to suggest that they will have plenty to offer in the second. That this game here at the Mapei, which has just reached half-time, is a long way from over. Aliou Federer's goal. make sure that they'll get dragged into any trouble. Even at the wrong end of the table. The substitution afoot for the Grigiorossi. Jamie Vardy in the foreground. Your picture awaits to restart this game. And it is indeed Dennis Jonsson, the Norwegian, who has been introduced for the start of the second period. Round away. Of the last two meetings between these two teams, ending in a 3-2 scoreline, including their meeting at the start of the current campaign. And Davide Nicola will well remember Cremonese winning it late on through a penalty after Sassuolo had pegged them back from 2-0 to 2 apiece. Real roller coaster match at Bazzini in August. What we've seen in the first half, both of these two teams, and perhaps particularly the Grigiorossi, will still have something to offer. Sassuolo lead, but this game a long way from decided as yet. This is the substitute, Jonsson. The ball inside to Van der Buta, and away come Cremonese. Bonazzoli. In turn, finding Zabbi. Van der Buta's ball. Telacciano, challenged by Morovic. Norsley and certainly on the wrong end. The heavy challenges in the first half. Indeed, there was a foul on him that led to the critic prompt disallowing more Cremonese thought was their equaliser from the boots of Diari Van der Buta. With caught by Bonazzoli in the penalty area immediately prior to the Belgian finding the net. It is Cremonese in possession. Smith basket up top. Certainly been blessed with a few goals so far in match week 22 as here come Cremonese. I've said Bininim just couldn't quite bring the ball under control. Ali Nuric was off his line quickly. Lead football from Cremonese, or just getting away from Alessio Zabbi. And as a free kick goes Sassuolo's way. They've had some goals in this round of fixtures so far. 6 for Inter on Friday night against Pisa. 6 again for Club. Soft big Torino yesterday afternoon. Was biggest ever win in SerieAFootball. It's pushed them temporarily at least up to 5th in the table. What a season it's been for them. So saw another victory from Chadiri yesterday. This time at the Artemio Franchi against Fiorentina. Cagliari now 8 points clear of the bottom 3 as things stand. Kone. Just space for the Scotsman and Doig. Loriente finds his captain. Down the ball is feet of Nemanja Matic. This is Lipani. Sassuolo went up to build again. Matic finding Fadena. Work in the end by Van der Pulte. Away will come Cremonese with Bonazzoli. Sole looking for the run of Jamie Vardy. Had that one chance in the first half, Jamie Vardy. First time shot, which is beaten out by Mulic. That's out of beat. That's out by Ditzes. That Seller is there. Nice out beat. Cremonese forced to go all the way back to Howdaniel. We'll build again with Pazzerna. Vardy will chase. Which right out on the edge of his area. Well aware of the danger of Vardy's place. Just turned 39 years of age as Jamie Vardy. Still showing in sleep. There is no other than capable performer. Joint top scorer with 5 goals. He and Bonazzoli. There's current campaign. Lest we forget, was November's Player of the Month. It is SerieA, and a remarkable achievement. Doig, unable to keep the ball in play. And is able to take it quickly. Skipped away from Alessio Zarabi, but to no avail. Pizzella. No. And Pizzella between them, unable to keep the ball in play. And Vernick wanted a full power up top. Heavy update this afternoon. Atalanta going head to head with Parma. Genoa 18 Bologna at Marassi. Big games to follow later. Juventus meeting Napoli at the Allianz later on. Roma and Milan going head to head at the Stadio Olimpico. Milan hoping to Fattiggia at the top to 3 points as they cut Cremonese with Bonazzoli support on his right hand side from Zerbi, but it wasn't the best of balls from Bonazzoli. Sassuolo got men back. This is Terracciano. Kept looking for the right. Sandler coming in from that left flank. And there's space for Josh Doig. Looking down that left-hand side with Yonte. Loriente keeps jamming, and the effort goes just wide of the right-hand post for the boot. More Bordeaux with the rueful smile. He knows that was an opportunity. He got there first ahead of Kenketti. made the contact, just off target. Gamore making his first start of this jump aid. Andrea Pinamonte, who usually occupies that centre forward slot, is on the bench, shoving me, battling me thanks to flu this week. And Sassuolo also parted company this week with their Moroccan, Chidina. Made his debut off the bench for his new club at Serie last night in the 0-0 draw with Lazio. This is Moro. Matic. Tony. On for Moro to chase. Basquiat will get there first. That's a pull ball from Aldeano. He will be breathing a sigh of relief. And that could have proved really costly. Miladero already at fault for the games only gone so far. So Stoig wins the decision from referee Codno. It's marginally offside in the end. That is Giovanni Cannavali, chief executive of Sassuolo, with a shake of the head. London jump. Finds Serie. Van der Boerta looking for Vardy. Comfortable in the end for Basquiat. Having had such a disastrous start to this game, Cremonese, they certainly found a way back into it in terms of possession, opportunities, as Johnson has the ball taken off his toe, only as far as Van der Boerta. Still the Belgian, trying to find Serie and does. Like it goes to Tenaciano. Little swept in towards Vardy, brings it down well, has support from Sella. Nablanchetti. Back with Vardy. Drops his on that left foot to the far post. Doig's headed clear. Only as far as Tenaciano. Now Jobson. Jobson's ball there. To the side next to Cremonese. Saying there was a deflection. Nonson playing that ball in. Let's see it again here. May have taken just a touch off the boot of Blorion, then even bloody lunge range for the home side, and with the return of Domenico Bernardi to the chairs of the home supporters. The talisman is back. Double change, in fact, with the Norwegian Christian Torstvedt replacing Ukalipani in midfield. But certainly the arrival of Neroverdi will be a big boost for the Neroverdi at this point. 8 matches. The Sassuolo number 10 has missed through injury. It's forced off in the game at Como, the defeated Como in late November. Johnson unable to keep the ball in play. Dennis Johnson. He got rid, subject to some speculation in this current transfer window that a potential move. But as things stand, he's still wearing the, I think, Grigiorossi shirt. So I'm putting the thorn Lorient into chase with Teleciano. And Fredson unable to keep the ball in play. Thumbs up, nevertheless, for the service. Throw in has gone Sassuolo's way. Joy, the Delonso to that near post. Spin the ball. Greets everybody. To the channel and just past the out mark here at the MapeiStadium, and still Alio Federer's goal keeping Sassuolo ahead. Sedano since having been replaced by Domenico Panardi. This is Torstvedt finding Loviotte. Corner. Ball comes in, looking for Yuka Ball. Well, he's tied his man well. In the end, Cremonese just getting the ball clear. It's turned by Luca Moro. Must have thought the opportunity was there for an effort on goal. Berardi. Ball taken off it by Prezzella. Now there's space up on that Sole on that far side. He's still Bonafsole. No, he does well. Danger still not clear. Zerbin. Bonafsole again. Gets a shot away into the arms of Bulic. Frustration in the end for Federico Bonafsole. Go down as an opportunity. Found some space in that right-hand shoulder. Toeg's ball clear. Finds Doriante. Lies with Jonsson. Mayon, says the referee. Moriente looks puzzled. And Puchan. Now Petsen. Petzela is caught by Bernardi. Just catching the right ankle. Giuseppe Petzella. Here is that opening, or half opening for Lucamore. In the ears of the Ancetti did very well just to get a foot on the ball as Nubtavoro was preparing to shoot. Talking of preparing, there's a set piece being the Grigiorossi's favour. Van de Putte and Petzella once again over this ball. Again, it'll be Van der Putte to deliver. Strikes Loriente. Yellow jacket. And saw the Frenchman. Protests continue, but they'll adjourn it is. For Alaman Loriente. This time they'll be told to stand the required distance away. Once again, it is Yari van der Puta over the ball. This time he leaves it for Petzella. Such a hit as it was with the impulse header at the expense of a corner. Davide corner certainly takes some encouragement from the way his team have taken on the challenge in this game. Still looking for that equaliser. They've had the greater of possession in this game. They've created the better openings. Still 25 minutes remain. Should be pointed out as well that this is a Cremonese side who are low on numbers. As Van der Putte catches Torsvet. Axel Warren Bondo. Anse Pajero still absent through injury and illness. Bombagna also. Tony Sanabria still not fit. Lined up. So this one with just 8 players on the substitutes bench. So reinforcements very thin on the ground. Saw Davide Nicola. Two of them are already on the pitch in the shape of Jonsson. Sadabing. Vardy trying to get away from it, says, and wins the decision. Indonesian was judging Vardy. As Cremonese do make another change. Adesso Garcia makes way for the man of Florian Mussolini. Man on loan from Lazio. Getting another outing in this second half. So a free kick then to Cremonese. It's set up, sweeping that ball in towards the head of Bianchetti. Frustrated with himself that he couldn't get the ball on target. Cremonese skip up. 7th season now with the Lombardy club, and we are going to see the introduction of Andrea Pinamonte, sideline from the start by the Flitter. Suspects Suali to be a straight swap. That's all Luca Moro, and started this game ahead of it, but we shall see. Noyonte, ball taken off it by Bianchetti on the as far as Crone, and referee Connell right up with the action. Says that will be a free kick to the home side. Zabbi challenging Cornet from behind. A bit of respite indeed for the Neroverdi position, who've been, if not under the cost, certainly haven't seen an awful lot of the ball in this most recent period. But it's there you have the free kick. Leonte, who is shaping up for this one, but Abdi is over it as well. It is the French Manchester. Ball is pushed over the top by Haldano. Good effort, decent size. Leonte striking him with his right foot. Haldano getting across, just pushed it to safety. Leonte still looking for goal before in this current campaign. Has come pretty close. Corner then, John Sassuolo. And still for 20 minutes of this game remaining. And the ball is played short. Shot comes in from Matic. Shows Grigiorossi. And Schwartz again coming a long way for his own goal. But he couldn't find all the old edge. The people who could make comes out substitution. He's done that. The love it, then become happy. Andrea Pinamonte showing top scorer. Enters the fray, as does Nicolas Giamini. Replacing Arnold on the book kick, which may have something to do with Fabio Grosso's decision with 20 minutes of the game remaining. Sassuolo have Pinamonte and Berardi on the pitch together again at last. It's bit of the while. 8 goals between them this season. It's with the clearance only as far as Bianchetti, but wrong with some young sit in the direction of Vardy, and safety first from Jayetsis. Adaro's clearance is beyond Vardy and all the way through for Arimoric. Ketu's head up. Vardy. Quite fine Jonsson. Now Matic. Torstvedt. Challenged by Bianchetti. Now Bonazzoli. Onto his left foot. Finds Bianchetti, who in turn finds Dennis Jonsson. Johnson's ball up out of the air by Muric. Sassuolo do manage to hold on to this advantage. It will take them on to 26 points. That will wear Udinese in that mid-table area. Leave Cremonese on 23, 6 points ahead of the drop zone. A reminder that neither of these two teams have won in their last 7 matches. So it's felt all week like a pivotal fixture in that respect. 2 mid-table teams, newly promoted from Serie B last season. They say that just as winning can become a habit, so can not winning. Others of these two teams, desperate to win, would have been a pretty lean spell. Cremonese too have had some difficult fixtures. And nice weights. That's Juventus. Lazio, Napoli. For the time being, their goal drought goes on. Just 2 in their last 6. So the card shown to Pizzella, running just back from a bat. The free kick has gone the Neroverdi's way. Hoists big news in, cheered by Van der Putte. Scarotto with the clearance. Floriani Mussolini. space to run at Hranovic. She does very well. The ball is the outside, is challenged perfectly. And now Berardi. Mantic. Other runs into Terracciano, and now Dano has to be quick. Sharing his lines at the expense of a throw-in. Camila Dano. Over big fortunes for Cremonese, the Indonesian goalkeeper. As we see again that fight challenge from Vuhorovic. 15 minutes of the game remaining. And Aliou Ferreira's second goal of the campaign. Ball that separates the two teams as we go into this last quarter. Larukevitz finds Berardi. Had Sellard as well. And finally Terracciano. Fondo managing to block his clearance, and in the end, this celebrates as from nowhere. Sassuolo themselves a corner. Adero unable to keep the bouncing ball from going over the line. Pen to green shirts. Await the delivery of the corner from the boot of Domenico Berardi. And I think it comes. Shot comes in. Just over the top from the boot of Josh Joy. Now Washington far away from the Scotsman. Ball dropping nicely for him on the edge of the box. So he's fly. Just the one goal for Josh Doig this season so far. With Jamie in the Coppa Italia on the first day of the season. Maurizio Caccinone, president of Cremonese, wearing something of a pained expression, which you might expect, seeing his side still trailing with 13 minutes or so remaining. This is Van de Putte for Cremonese. Floriani Mussolini battling with Doig. There's a substitute. Join some action in Serie this season. Who's our learn that you were starting at Serie B this time last year. Helping them reach the playoffs. Added in a corner looking on anxiously. Mascuro comes clearance. Hardy stretches the ball down, but Buric clears. Time for Terracciano. Bianchetti. Skipper chipping the ball forward in the direction of Pezzella. Challenged by Berardi. Offside giving. Just straight at Pezzella. Said finds Berardi. Piemonte beaten to the ball by the Anchetti. It's back with Sassuolo. Dristian Torsfeld. Matic, ball was taken off the toe, Berardi. Berardi. And the left arm on Van der Poel. Adam. Wenical Berardi. First goal for Sassuolo against Genoa in November was his 160th for the club. Fantastic achievement by Domenico Berardi. But it's 14th season, which I believe, with the Neroverdi. Hillenson goes down under the challenge. It's such a cramp, perhaps, for the Indonesian. Cremonese prepare the double substitution with the resources they have left. There aren't too many of those. Young Jedzi will be replaced by Francesco Follino and Layton. Kyle Fay. Servalise. Landa puts his ball there. It's cleared by Pinamonti. And the Punta thing with Berardi again. Berardi does well this time. Looks to set the substitute Chiellini away. Cornet is beat. Bites out Bean, who overruns the ball somewhat. Matic clears. This side, the final 9 minutes. It's tense here at the MapeiStadium. Still at London, dividing the two teams in Sassuolo's favour. It's been a second half of relatively few opportunities. Quite scrappy at times. And the teams that are not in the greatest of form. And a win of any kind, really important to both at the moment. Sassuolo are 8 minutes away from achieving that. As Moich once again comes way off his line to let. But will the wait go on for Cremonese? Matic surely succeeds in finding touch. Giannoni. Bobby a further change. Final change indeed. Saw the Neroverdi. The final placing Cornet near midfield. So both sides have made the changes. Head coaches have rolled the dice. So it's up to those on the pitch to see this game out. But one way or another. Not quite lived up to the promise offered from the first meeting between these two this season. 3-2 win for Cremonese. It was only the second game of the campaign for both teams. That is probably always going to be an ask until they look to that one. As it is, Adele on the ball now. His error that is costing his team. So come Cremonese with Van der Puta. But Soli was unable to get the ball under control. Cerini loses out. Jamonte gets there first, however. Sweeps the ball into the direction of Berardi. It comes off the shins of Petzela for a Sassuolo throw. Just over 5 minutes remain. And Sassuolo closing in upon the fourth home with. Yeah, Neroverdi. Piedemonte tries to get away from fight. That's the Udinese and Fiorentina. All already beaten there. No. Again, ball is with the Belgian, and so much goes through him. As far as the Grigiorossi are concerned, this is Bonarsoli looking to find space for the shot. The ball hits Fitters. Durante's header only finds Berardi, and the in turn finds the Scotsman Josh Doig, in space on that far side. And Torstvedt, Sassuolo happy to keep the ball. But I say hold on to this. It will be a hard-fought win. Well then. Cremonese will certainly feel from the amount of ball they've had in this game, and perhaps from the chances they have created, so they will fully deserve something out of it. And as it stands, they still trail. Poor delivery from the goalkeeper, and he succeeds in handing the initiative back to the Grigiorossi, and it made only 3 minutes that remain. Sari under pressure from Matic. Honest score, under succeeds in finding Matic. Floriano Mussolini. Van der Putte taking the ball down on his chest, tries to find Petzela. And the throw-in will go the Neroverdi's way. It's sliding in, didn't make contact with the ball. Just a few more minutes for Fabio Grosso and his team. Hang on. Right. They've seen advantages disappear here in recent weeks. They were waddled early on against part of mud. And the fourth to settle for a draw. Not equalising through a terrific effort from Matteo Pellegrino. But for all the ball that Cremonese have had, they've not really tested Modric, particularly in this second half. He was called upon in the first half to foil Jamie Vardy. That's probably as close as Cremonese have come. Anxious moments indeed. Big for the Sassuolo head coach. That's it set up. Van der Putte sweeping the ball out in the direction of Floriano Mussolini. Zerbin. gives the ball back for Foligno. There being challenged by Torsved. Now Floriani Mussolini with the crossing, headed clear by Itzes. Offside given. And once again, another Cremonese for it comes to nothing. That's what it was for. Floriani Mussolini, they're just straight offside. That is Elio Federa, the goal scorer. Will his goal be enough? Came after just 3 minutes of this game. Last shot from distance by Loriente, fumbled by Aldero into the path of the Gambian, and needed the rest in Liverpool. A 4 minutes of stoppage time signalled. 4 minutes for Cremonese to find a way back, or for Sassuolo to make the points safe. Another case of crab, this time for the veteran Nemanja Macic. Throw in the direction of Pinamonti. Now Torstred. And Dell remains in play. Danger is not cleared. Near in face. Ices it. Only as far as Matic. Shot on the turn from Chiarini. Lack power. Trouble Aldero. And now Petzenda. Dennis Jones. Looking for the run of Jan de Puta. Has so often been that final ball, particularly in this second half, that's been lacking for Cremonese. Jamie Vardy said next to no service. That's just Torsved though for Sassuolo. Serie. Torsved. Then the Norwegian feeding the run of Josh Deutsch. Being challenged by Sabine. Torsved finds Janoni. Back with the Norwegian. And Sassuolo have a corner. Just over 90 seconds remain. And the Neroverdi, understandably, will be in no great hurry to take this. As Jerry Innings over the ball. And leaves it for Goy. And the danger's not played another subject.
That strikes the board.
Well, in the end, terrific effort. Aldero was beaten. And substitute Chiarini on his right foot, trying his luck. The ball striking crossbar. And Johnson taking the throw it. Not quite where he should have done. Zabikolu coming to check on Eldarimovic. Truadan is down. And telling the boys now at least to get up and get on with it. Yeah. Being 4 minutes out up. Matt now down to the referee's discretion. Kravitz with the ball in his hand. Bernardi, who's down. What? Challenged by Landaputa. Those two have seen plenty of one another. There was the earlier incident where Vardy, not as much out of frustration as anything, and of course Mihajlovic slightly, but doesn't even going down. Now it's Berardi's turn to be on the deck, and Sassuolo, it's fair to say, happy to see out these final seconds one way or another. Cremonese with one final opportunity, surely, from this restart. Fun to put the Sassuolo goal under pressure. Aldero delivers one. Forward it goes. Noric is there, and that will probably be it. Soriano Mussolini's head out. The challenge was by Matic. Still we play on. Free kick for Cremonese. Sassuolo will get everybody back. On the last ditch attempt by the Grigiorossi. Aldero delivers again. Netted by Mihajlovic. FootballNight. The shot was great, and it didn't really test Moric. It fell for the Cremonese strike, but just didn't really get hold of it. That's it. Sassuolo finally have their victory after 7 games without a win. And for Davide Nicolas Cremonese, the wait for 3 points.